Welcome to our weekly discussion of all things current in California politics. I'm Walt Gray. Joining us this week, reporter Emily Hoeven, political columnist with the San Francisco Chronicle. Emily, always good to see you. Thank you for joining us today. There's been so much trouble going on in the banking industry, California too. The governor getting some criticism from many because he didn't maybe initially reveal his ties to Silicon Valley Bank. What are you finding?
That's right, Walt. So, the governor was very public about how he was talking with the president and federal authorities and making sure that small businesses and everyone would be made whole who had investments in Silicon Valley Bank. But when he was praising the fact that the government decided to step in and make sure people would get their money back, he did not disclose that he apparently had some of his own money in the bank, and also that some of his wineries had done business with Silicon Valley Bank as well. Although those wineries are placed in a blind trust, people were still concerned. Also, the bank, at the behest of the governor, had made a sizable donation to the governor's wife's nonprofit, and a top executive at the bank was also on the board of directors of that nonprofit. So there are some people that are concerned that, he wasn't transparent enough about those possible conflicts of interest and bailing out his own businesses as well, possibly.
Something you're working on for the Chronicle, which we're hoping to see shortly, is Huntington Beach is suing California and back at them too for housing issues. What's going on there?
Yeah, it's really interesting. So Huntington Beach and the state sued each other on the same day, both accusing each other of problems with the state housing laws. And what's really interesting that I'm looking at in Huntington Beach's lawsuit is many aspects of it are actually pretty crazy. It's accusing the state of violating the city's free speech, of violating the Commerce Clause of the U.S. Constitution, and other rather outlandish claims. But buried within the lawsuit, the point that they're making is that the state housing laws are not applied equally, and that is true. So Marin County, for example, it has a certain exemption that basically allows it to limit the density at which apartments are built, and it makes it harder to build affordable housing. So they're saying, how is it fair that, rich Northern California counties get this exemption and we are instead forced to build all this housing?
Can't wait to read up more on that. Looking forward to that. Is California, we're getting plenty of rain and snow lately, but is the state going back and forth on its own water policy?
That's an interesting question. The state has kind of been doing various different things to address the surge of the rain after so much drought. And so for a while, it was actually curtailing the amount of water that was used for environmental purposes and instead diverting more of that to agriculture. That was really angering, advocates for salmon and other fish. Then the state walked back that and said, okay, actually we have enough water now to make sure that everyone has enough. But the state is also pausing for, I believe, only the second or third time in many, many years, the commercial salmon fishing season, because just not enough eggs were able to breed due to the hotter water, and there was less water for them to do that with. And the state is also opening certain reservoirs for the first time in a very long time because they're afraid of more flooding. And with more storms on the way, I think we're going to have to see what happens.
Yeah, indeed. This week we are expecting more inclement weather as the week goes on. Okay, Emily Hoeven, thank you as always. You can contact Emily at emily.hoeven@sfchronicle.com.